Most golfers think that their swing is the problem, but what if I told you it might not be, and that the real problem is actually right in your hands? Because if your golf grip is even slightly off, you will fight slices, you'll have weaker contact, and you'll lose distance, no matter how good your swing mechanics are. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 golf grip mistakes that are absolutely killing your swing. And I'll show you the simple fixes that you can make to instantly improve your ball striking, your control, and your power. So let's get into it. Let's break down the most common issue that I see with the trail hand. And this affects beginners, high handicappers, and even a lot of single-digit players as well. And that big mistake is the trail hand slipping too far underneath the grip. When the trail hand gets too far underneath the club, a chain reaction happens. The face opens early, the wrist folds incorrectly, you add unintentional loft, and you lose all the ability to compress the golf ball. That's the root cause many times of that big slice, that thin shot, that occasional shank, and even costing you 20, 30, and 50 yards without you even realizing it. When you do this, you might feel like the club is slipping, or like you have to overuse your trail hand to square the club at impact. That leads to flipping, casting, early release, all the things that you try to do to correct the swing, when really the grip is what caused it in the first place. So let's talk about fixing that trail hand. Now let's walk through that simple fix that instantly improves control, your contact, and power. And by the way, guys, I left a free grip guide in the description box below. It walks you through exactly how to grip the club. Be sure to grab that before you leave. So start with your lead hand. And I cover this all in my free golf grip guide in the description box below. So I'll keep this quick and short. But really, you want to have the grip sitting in the fingers, having 2 to 3 knuckles showing, and pressure no more than maybe 4 to 5 out of 10. What this does is it sets the foundation so that your trail hand can do its job during the swing. Now, you want that trail hand on the side and not under. And this is really that magic move. Instead of placing your trail hand under the club, rotate it so it sits more on the side. And what this does is it matches more of the face angle, it improves your wrist hinge, it also reduces that tension in the trail arm, and it keeps that club face square even longer. So you're probably going to feel like your hands are now working together instead of fighting each other. And now all you really need to do is place that lifeline of your trail hand right over the thumb of that lead hand. This creates that connection so that your hands move as one piece together throughout the swing. If the trail hand squeezes too hard, a lot of times your wrist can lock up, your takeaway gets disconnected, and your swing path shifts outside in. So the softer that trail hand, the easier it is to create that speed later in the swing. Now let's talk about the second thing that you never want to do when gripping the golf club. And that big mistake is placing the grip too much in the palm instead of the fingers. Now you might be wondering, why is that a problem? Well, when the club sits too much in the palm, there's a lot of things that actually happen as a result of that, and they start working against you. Like the wrist locks up, you lose proper hinge, and the club face becomes harder to control. That's many times the root cause of some of your weak fades, your inconsistent contact, and shots that just feel flippy, and really that frustrating feeling like you have to manipulate the club just to square it through impact. If you know what I'm talking about, comment below. We've all been there. More often than not, many golfers try to fix this by swinging harder or squeezing the grip tighter, but that actually only makes things worse. The swing didn't create the problem, the grip did. So now let's talk about the fix, because it's one of the easiest and most simple changes that you can make that instantly improves control, contact, and consistency. And real quick, guys, before I go into it, I've actually put together a free grip guide in the description box below. It shows you exactly how to grip the club step by step. Be sure to grab that before you leave. So to fix the left hand, you want the grip sitting more in the fingers and not in the palm. The club should run diagonally across your fingers, like you're seeing in the video, from the base of your pinky toward the middle of your index finger. And when you do this correctly, your lead wrist stays athletic and the club face squares naturally without you having to force it. From the point of view at address, you should see 2 to 3 knuckles on your lead hand. That's a great checkpoint that your hand is positioned on top of the club and not wrapped underneath it. So here's a simple feel to lock it in, a feel that works really well. Feel like the pad of your lead hand sits on top of the grip and your fingers wrap nicely underneath it. That keeps the face stable and lets your wrists hinge naturally. And when your left hand is set correctly on the golf club, your hands start to work together, the face stays square longer, and your ball contact improves immediately. And if you're still unsure whether your grip is correct, comment below and let me know what issues that you're having. I read all the comments and I use your feedback to help me plan my next video. All right, now let's talk about the third and final thing that you never want to do when gripping the golf club, and that is having incorrect grip pressure. So let's first talk about the two different extremes of grip pressure and ideally where you want to fall. The first extreme is grip pressure. And this is the golfer who's squeezing the club like it's trying to escape. Right? When you hold it too tight, here's what tends to happen. Your forearms lock up, your wrists lose their ability to hinge naturally, and the club just can't release properly through the impact zone. And all of this usually leads to blocks, slices, or weak fades. And on top of this, it feels like you're swinging really hard, but the ball just doesn't go anywhere. Now, on the other side of this extreme is too loose of a grip. Some golfers here grip it light, but they take that advice way too far. So when the grip is too soft, the club face becomes unstable, timing becomes inconsistent, and your misses actually start going both directions because you're often either too early or too late to the impact zone. So what's the ideal grip pressure, you might be asking? Well, one of the easiest ways to understand grip pressure is by using a simple 1 to 10 scale. So 1 would be like holding a feather, and 10 would be like white knuckling it. For most full golf swings, you want to live around a 5 to 6 at the address position, but grip pressure isn't always static. It starts moderate at address with a 5 to 6, and then naturally moves to a 7 to 8 during the takeaway and the downswing. So now that you know proper grip pressure, let's talk about where that pressure should live. And this is huge because this alone can fix a lot of swings and a lot of shots. Grip pressure should live more in the fingers, not deep in the palms. Now, when it's in the fingers, your wrists hinge easier, your club releases naturally, and your swing feels smoother and faster. If pressure is buried in the palms of your hands, the club often feels heavy, your arms take over, and the swing just loses its flow. And as a reminder, be sure to grab my free grip guide in the description box below. It'll visually break down all of this for you. And comment below, let me know, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest struggle right now? Are you slicing the ball? Do you see a lot of inconsistent contact? Are you losing distance? Are you feeling tense over the ball? Let me know. Your feedback often helps me create my next video. So let's quickly recap. Your grip pressure really affects your entire swing. It should start at about a 5 to 6 pressure at address, and then during the takeaway and downswing, it should move to a 7 to 8. Too tight and too loose both cause problems, and pressure should live in the fingers, not the palms of your hands. And if you like this video, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It'll help me create more and better content for you. And now that you know this grip pressure technique, you might be wondering what other grip tips I have. Check out this video here next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.